Hi, everybody. Hi, Starla. Hi, Kat. Hi, Dee Dee. Hi, Missy. Hi, Terry. Kat. Okay, you guys got the coffee made. That's great. But did you clean the bathrooms? That's what I always need to know. Did you get your butt in there and clean the bathrooms? Dee Dee's stream was fun this morning. Denise is there. It's always fun when Denise is there. And I'm just going to do another one of these today, but I'm going to do it on the sticker paper. So, yeah, I got some new compasses that I got to play with, and hi Bossy Butt. I've I don't know. I haven't had much time this last week, so yeah, that's what I had to do. So I'm still obsessed, and Dee Dee sent me a really cool compass, so I want to play with that. And what else did I do? I did have a good weekend. I mean, nothing much changes around here. A Wednesday is like a Saturday, except on Sunday I do bust my butt trying to clean this place, get laundry cleaned up, blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah, our days are pretty much all the same. Hi, Linda. Give Tim a hug. So, yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Well, Artie Dar, you changed your name. You were Artie Dar at Dee Dee's this morning. But you mentioned Joycey, and it's odd that you mentioned Joycey because I was thinking about her just the other day. She kind of dropped away, and I haven't seen her literally in years. Hi, Angie. Stay as long as you want, Angie. Go take a nap if you want. Oh, you're on the phone. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Hi, Keeks. So, um, I was talking to Dee Dee in between our streams, and Denise's ATCs were coming out great. Now, keep in mind, she's never done them before. So, and she doesn't know a lot of these techniques. She's never done art journaling or anything like that, and obviously has none of the stuff that we all have. So, I have to say, I was impressed. Joycey still sends you a PayPal? Is it our Joycey or Joyce Boring? I think you're thinking Boring. We're talking Joycey. That's cool as she does. She used to stream. Yes, our Joycey. How? Oh, well, that's awesome. Um, so let me show you. Last week or whenever I was whining, and I swear to God, I can't say that I hate whining, but I need to do it more because I got word from a woman. Her name was Sue Mautz, Mautz, and I don't know if we know her as something else, but she said that she had been a teacher, um, and she had cleaned out the CAD lab when they were shutting down the school or something, and I'm sure CAD meant computer aided design, and she had scavenged a bunch of compasses and stuff like that out of the CAD lab. So early in the week, I got this. It was a big box. I was like, what in the world? I mean, a compass isn't that big, right? But I opened this big box and she sent me a drafting brush and these cool circle. Um, and they're on sticker paper, not the washi paper, but they are on sticker paper. So I'm sure they were die cut as circles. And it looks like what she had done on them is jelly plate and then stamped and put some texture stuff on top. You guys, these are really cool. So now I'm going to have to figure out how to do some die cuts on the washi paper because these are way cool, don't you think? Hi, Barbie. Yeah, Artie Dar, I agree. ATC is a small place to play on. Yeah, so I just thought these were really cool. And when you feel them, they feel textured. Like these black things are actually pokey. So yeah, I thought that was very cool. So thank you, Sue. I just saw Starla's name. Um, But yeah, I'm going to have to figure this out because I'm thinking she stamped on them, jelly plated, use some glue, maybe texture paste or something. I don't know, but they're very cool. So everything I love. And let me start putting stuff over here and get it out of my way. And then check it out. She sent me these 2 compasses. They're identical. And extension arms. The extension arms do not work on these compasses, but I'll find something that they will work on. Let me pull out a little bit. So these are 6.5 inch, and they have a pencil lead in them. And then I think I opened that, and it comes with another point, so you could use them to measure. So that was really cool. Very cool. And lead that works on film, which I'm not going to be doing any film, but that's good too. And then check this out. This is why the box was big. Freaking professional. Look at all this. 3 different, this is the measuring one. Needles on both ends. And then look at this cute little baby one. And it has lead in it. But actually what I'd been whining about, I love these. I'm tickled pink to have them. But what I'd been whining about was that I wanted one that held a pen, right? And these don't have the attachments for the pen. But that's okay, because they're still awesome, and I love them very, very much. So, Sue, don't think that I'm complaining. I'm not. I'm just being honest here. And I just lost something. I'll find it before I'm done. And this cute little spoon, which, you know, you can use for embossing powder or whatever. So that was really cool. Yeah, it was a true absolute score. Hi, Dorothy. Dorothy's still hoarding her toilet paper rolls. I learned this morning over at Dee Dee's. Oh, there they are. I didn't lose them. And then these little finger, so you can move papers or just protect your fingers. So very cool. It is a cute spoon, right? Feed a baby. I don't have a baby. Don't want a baby. So that was my totally cool score from Sue. I appreciate it. Y'all are so nice, you know. And when I whine on camera, I'm really not saying please send me. I'm honest to God not. I'm just basically a whiner. Hi, Barb Owen. I haven't seen you around in a while. Thanks for dropping by. And then, I don't know, it was probably Friday or Saturday, Dee Dee succumbed to my whining and sent me this tech tool compass. This is what I've been looking for. And I had bought myself my own. And my complaint about all these is that the screw is plastic and it doesn't take me very long to wreck them. So here's my advice to any manufacturer who makes these things. They're awesome. I love them. They're perfect. But send some extra screws. Your husband hears you whining? Yeah. But I haven't wrecked this one yet. And it's cool because, and I'm assuming you got this at Hobby Lobby, Dee Dee, for tech tools. But it's got the extension arm. So, you know, you can make a huge circle. May or may not ever use that. I've got the pen. Oh, and I took the insert that everything sat in because I want to use this one. This is, that opening is big enough. And this is why I love this particular one so much, is because one of the tools I like to use a lot is this IdentiPen, and it's permanent alcohol. And I hadn't found one that would accommodate a thicker barrel. This one is awesome. Fits the thicker barrel. Will screw down so that I can put anything in it. And I told Dee Dee I was going to try to put this pen in it, my ruling pen. Maybe if I put it in this way, but leave that out, I think I can screw it down enough that I can get my ruling pen in it. I may have to mess with it a little bit, but I think I can. It'll give me something to try to wreck that screw right there because I haven't wrecked it yet. So I thought I was going to, well, it gives a little bit. We're going to try. All right, well, I'm going to try it anyway. What do I got to lose, right? An extra lens. So I think this is going to work out perfect. And now I know where I can go. After I wreck it, I can walk right into Hobby Lobby, and for $8, get this. And it might be, oh, I could wrap it with washi tape. Dee Dee, you're brilliant. I knew there was something else I liked about you. I just couldn't figure it out. So thank you, Dee Dee. Honest to God, thank you very, very much. I do have a new obsession, Barb. I do. I love tools, all kinds of tools. Doesn't matter what it is. I love tools. I love freaking tools. And then the only other thing I bought was these little organizer boxes because I had tons of stickers and those little plastic things that Amazon sells their Chinese crap in. And see what they look like, Dee Dee? I love these little things. So this was actually, everything in here was actually on a roll of like washi tape, but it had backing on it. So I could cut out each of the little individual things and their washi stickers because I couldn't see what was on the roll. And I thought, this is so dumb. Why would you sell me such cool stuff on a roll of tape that I have to unroll to find the cool stuff? Now I got all the cool stuff already cut out. I am nice to Dee Dee sometimes, Barb. So I love those little organizer containers, and I got 8. And I don't know how much they were, but they were very cool. And then the other thing I bought was History Isn't Boring, Your Teacher Was, because APG Jamie sent me a video of a guy talking about history, and he did the narrative so good. And then at the end, he said, and I've written a book. And I thought, oh, I got to buy his book. And I have to say, Dee Dee, has your husband mentioned that the stories are really funny? I mean, they're historically correct, I think. But the way he words things and the way he describes, like, some people, I wish I could find that one that I read. It was so funny. But this is, I mean, it's just a little tiny, like, brochure book. But it's so good. I wish I could find that one that I read, because I've just been opening it and reading it and then opening it and reading it. But his description of some people, honest to God, you guys, if you like reading history and yeah, you'll just laugh because it's just funny. And then most of you here, I'm sure, know by now that Dee Dee and I are doing the Passport ATC swap based on the Passport Journal, which I've done nothing else in since the other day. I have collected up a lot of information about Spain. Oh, I did draw that. I forgot. I was looking at the Spain ceramics, and I thought I'm going to draw one of those to include. So I drew that. But otherwise, I don't have enough material yet, really, to start working on Spain. I know that their flower is a red carnation. Their bird is an eagle, which I've already drawn. So I probably am going to attempt to draw a Spanish fighting bull, which that ought to be interesting. But this is the last page I've done. And this is what kind of sparked the idea for the ATC swap. And of course, Denise was working on it this morning. All the instructions are either on Dee Dee's, what used to be our community page, now it's called Posts, or mine. And my email is on mine so that you can, well, I think it's on Dee Dee's too. So you can write me and get my address. I have answered all the emails that I had gotten through this morning. Thank you, Kat. And last week I had worked on the background for one of mine. And I'm going back and forth about whether or not I should show it. So what do you guys think? Should I show the ATCs or let it be a surprise when you guys get them? Tell me what you think. And I will act accordingly. Waiting for you bozos to answer. Keeks is saying show them. Share. We figured you would say that. I asked Dee Dee, should I show them? And she said, I don't know. And I said, I'll just ask everybody. They're saying show them. Okay. I might keep the next set secret. I don't know. Go ahead and show. Okay. You guys saw me put down the, this started with a napkin of cherry blossoms. So they're all a little bit different because I included some of the writing from the Happy Mail that Kberg sent me, and then some stamps that my mother had. So I did go ahead and finish them early last week because I haven't arted in days because I have a dog here. How come there's one missing? How could I lose one? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'm missing one. That's really weird. It may or may not turn up. But I think they came out pretty good. I've put a little touch of gold. Can you see the gold on them? So that'll be my first set for Japan. Now I'm going to go crazy wondering where that last one went. I don't think I ruined any of them. Who knows? Might have put it in the trash anyway. Hi, Rachel. So yeah, have fun doing them, you guys. I think I know what my next set is going to be like, and each one of them will be different. So that's going to be a commitment. But we've got a month and a half. They're not due until May. You don't have to let us know ahead of time if you're going to participate. Hang on, I think I just found it. I found it. Okay. I was going to say, I'm losing my mind. I'm going cuckoo. So they're a little bit different, but much the same on all of them. So that was really fun. And when you do yours, try and have fun. There's no point in doing it if you're not going to have fun. And this morning at Dee Dee's, if you're stuck or feel like you don't have elements, Kat had put in a link to I have it here, and I also had sent a copy to Dee Dee of this global travel stickers, and these are washi stickers, and they each page is a different place, and I've taken some out here and there for use in my passport journal. But you know, if you wanted to do Mongolia, there's some ephemera you could use on your cards. You get to choose. They can all be different. They can be the same. You can choose a country. You can choose a state. You can choose a city. It doesn't really matter. And I'm not encouraging you to buy stuff, but if you're kind of stuck and feel like you don't have any images, one, get on the computer. I mean, all that stuff in that passport journal that I've shown you, I've just gathered either out of here, out of the passport journal, stickers. So yeah, but yeah, this little book, it's pretty inexpensive, but it's got some great images. And every country that they include, they always have the most iconic place for that location. Like for Peru, obviously Machu Picchu and Lama. But they have some really good images. So I'm not encouraging you necessarily to spend money, but there's a lot of resources out there if you feel like, oh, I can't draw. My next set is going to be all hand drawn. I won't be using stickers or anything else. I'm going to hand draw every one of them. I think, I hope, keep your fingers crossed. How about that? So I thought I would go ahead and do more circle art. Okay, now this is what happens. ATC is so small, Barbie. Oh my gosh. Did you see that blur? What the heck? Go ahead and try it, Barbie. What the hell? Well, then you should participate, Angie. Hi, Ann. That was another thing. It can be an imaginary place. I was trying to get Dee Dee. She's going to do hieroglyphs. I was trying to get Dee Dee to choose her place, her whole passport thing from space, because she's so good at space. But she overruled me. Surprise. Hi, Fritch. Fritchie, I don't know if you pronounce the E on the end or not, but anyway, I'm going to use this fun compass available at Hobby Lobby, and you can put a pen in it, and that's really what I was looking for, what I could put a pen in. No. Oh, and another thing was this morning at Dee Dee's, I made up a hashtag so that if you guys want to post what you've created for the Passport Journal, use hashtag Passport ATC Swap 2025. And then if you go on social media and just search that hashtag, you'll see what everybody has posted. Hey, CB. You were losing your mind during Dee Dee's giveaway this morning. I don't know if you guys noticed, CB put in $13.95 or something like that. Now, one thing about this compass is these legs will move. I'm probably going to glue them shut, glue them open. Well, it's too late for you. What's too late for you, Starla? Being crazy? Okay. And keep in mind, the distance from here to here is half the circumference of your circle. She was day drinking, Kat. I was certain of it. I thought, man, that CB, she went out and got drunk again. So I'm just going to randomly draw some circles, and I find it easier to move the paper. All right, I'm going to find that hole again and draw the, resize it right on the paper. I am working on the washi sticker paper. Oh, the hashtag. Well, Starla, if you want me to, if yours are already in the mail, if you want, I can, well, I'd have to post it on mine. But I will be showing all of these again as they come in. You'll see every submission as they come in. So, but you can I could always take a picture of them and message it to you, Starla. And there's no rhyme or reason for the size of the circles where I put them or anything like that. Hi, Joan. Yeah, everybody will see them because I will show them as they come in. I could do that, Devin. If she starts acting nice, I'll do it. How about that? If she doesn't act nice, it sucks to be her. And I think one of the things I like about this, and I'm going to try and make up some rules. And I'll tell you why. One, because I like rules. I'm a rules person. But the first ones, we got kind of confused about what do you leave blank and what do you color in and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to try and make up some rules for how I accomplish this. Because right now, there are no rules. We're just making it up as we go along. But I think the overlap makes it very interesting. And not all the circles will have borders, but I like the ones that have borders because my lights are getting in the way. They give you the areas to kind of color in, to add some black in. So that's one thing I try and keep in mind as I'm doing it. And then I just do whatever. It doesn't really matter. But I think, and I didn't write down, and I'm sorry I didn't, the girl who originally inspired Terry Brett, because I wouldn't have done this if that damn Terry Brett hadn't shown hers and turned me on to the girl originally. So if Terry wants to find it and put it in chat, that would be cool. All right, let's put it here. And I'm not sure about going off the page. I'll probably do like I did on that other one and create a border. So but when I start coloring it in, you'll see what I mean. I'd like to give credit to that, the original artist. I think that's a nice thing to do. Not that I go around trying to be a nice person all the time. So get that dumb idea out of your head, okay? But yeah, you know what I mean. All right, this one I'm going to make just slightly larger. Do a skinny border. I should be able to get that off my mat. It is, well, this is Sharpie Starless, so it dries quickly. But yes, every product that I've used on the washi sticker tape has dried very quickly. If you want it to stay wet, you're going to have to Terry Brett Troublemaker, exactly. Reminds me of Terry Trouble, Terry Betcher that used to come to Dee Dee's all the time. But yeah, everything, and I'll show you something else I did with it when I was just playing. Now, all this overlap, that's going to get really interesting. I'm not sure how I'll deal with that, but we'll find out because that's what we do. This was a piece of leftover washi sticker, and I hadn't tried. Oh, that's what happens when you stamp on the wrong side. Oh, you stamped on it and it smeared? When I stamped on it, it did not smear. I stamped on the wrong side of this. But it did not smear, but I'm not sure that I really brushed it to see. But if you're going to color it in or anything, make sure you use archival or something permanent. This is alcohol marker on the washi sticker paper. And I don't know, can you guys see how the, come on, focus, you freak. But it almost, when you can see it firsthand, it shows the texture of the paper. Now, I don't know how they make the paper, but it made it real textury, which I was a little surprised. And I can't get it to really show up. Maybe you guys can see it. I heat set it and then it was fine. Okay, it was our, okay. I'm not sure, Starla, you might have been just trying to move too fast, girl. So that's what alcohol markers did on it. And they stayed lighter. Let me see if I can figure out which. I think this was one of them. All right. Okay. That was that red color. So see how the alcohol marker came out lighter than the marker would on just regular copy paper. So yeah, I was a little bit surprised at that, but it worked awesome. Worked perfectly. So that was just me playing with circles and alcohol markers because I'm obsessed. All right, that has to go over there with Sue's stuff. Hey, K-Bird. All right. I want to add some more, and I am going to add smaller circles, but I'll probably use template for that. Let me see about adding. But now I'm probably going to end up, I don't want to do that necessarily. Okay, I need to make it smaller, sorry. Like a border inside a border. No, that's not going to work either. I'm glad that didn't mark up. I'm going to make it smaller. Okay. All right. And I think I'll do one down here going off the page. I think I've always been obsessed with tools like this. And I remember in school, when you had to use protractors and stuff like that, that was my favorite math ever. You got your spirograph out? Good, Angie. I also have a spirograph, and I found it the other day when I was looking for the pencils for Cam. Because I had to get down in the kids' toys to find it. All right, now I'm going to add some more just circles. Just circles with a template. And then we'll start making up rules. But doing it this way, you'll end up with some really odd, unique shapes because I'm going to watercolor on it. And then you guys can see how the watercolor works. And I did do that when I was stamping that day. I'm almost sure I did. Because another thing I want to do, I'm not sure when I'm going to do it, but I want to stamp out some more house mouse and watercolor them. And this is totally random. It might already be too busy. I don't know. Because all I'm doing is playing with my stuff. And my little Smidgy Poo, the dog I'm babysitting for my brother, has been awesome to have around. She's really, really a good girl. And she's been my little shadow. And I'm going to miss her when she's gone because she's been such a good buddy. And I don't ever have to go to the bathroom alone. And I do make her sleep in her crate. I don't think my brother makes her sleep in her crate, but I just got to, I don't know. I just decided at night she needs to be in her crate. So she's been sleeping in her crate and always happy to get out in the morning. But we've turned into really good buddies. We already were, but now she really loves me because I'm real generous with the treats and I cook her eggs. So, but she goes home tomorrow. And the reason I had her was because my nephew had surgery on his knee. He blew out his knee and had to get a new knee. And so his parents went out for the surgery, but he did well. And so now they're eager to get home. But they got to see my whole family yesterday, and Dawn sent me pictures. And the only thing I thought when I saw the pictures of my family, which I haven't seen a lot of them in several years, is damn, they're all old. That was my thought. They're all old people now. What the hell? But it made me a little bit homesick, I have to say. Seeing everybody together and I wasn't there made me a little bit homesick. But I'd be there 15 minutes and going, now I know why I didn't go back. These are the same people that drove me crazy most of my life. So, but it was fun to see everybody. And up there, I think they all get together, around Christmas and stuff like that. Of course, Dawn and I down here see each other a lot because we're our only family. All right, what do you guys think? Do I need more circles? I think I'll do one overlap with this big one. All right. Hopefully all my mistakes we can cover up. I'll pull you guys down so you can see. Yeah, now you know what's going on in my life. The weather here has been gorgeous. And I did get a lot of work done outside. That's why I haven't been arting. I've been working outside. But it looks good. I only have one garden left to redo. And then go get a bunch of flowers for my pots. And then I'll take pictures because it's pretty. But I don't know, here in a few weeks, the computer said do it late spring, early summer, which would probably push me into May. I need to dig up all my daffodil bulbs and separate them. They've just gotten so crowded and so I need to do that. Stop. What do you, stop drawing circles. You think I have enough? I think it'll work out, CB. You just cool your jets, girl. Because the cool thing about this is after I'm done, I'm kind of thinking that I might cut it into strips for washi. We'll see. Okay, there you go. If you just color every other spot, I think mathematically it always works out. There's CB in chat going, stop, you're getting carried away. And I haven't really actually, other than that one page that I did of my other circle art, I haven't made any washi strips of it yet. But depending, I might end up doing it on this. It'll be real random, abstract. Hang on, I'm going to mute you guys for a second. Okay, got the rat squared away. And I thought I would use, you see there I goofed up. I didn't get my line, so I'm going to draw it, hand draw it. That's all right. I think I'm going to use the Prima paints today. I almost pulled out the Kuretake, and I don't care which one I use. If you guys have a preference. You're welcome, Devin. I'm loving this crazy paper too. In fact, I had bought the small package just to test it out, and I had another order going in, so I ordered some, and it took longer than everything else. I ordered it when I ordered those little plastic boxes, and it should be here today. But I still have some of the other left. But yeah, I'm tickled with it. It's been tons of fun. And I think it's going to be really useful, and it's definitely useful in the Beast. That I will say for sure. Is I can sit here and stamp my stuff and color it and cut it out and slap it in the Beast. The Beast this last week's been fun. I'm going to show it to you. In fact, what little art I did do was in the Beast. See, well, little Smidgeroo has been here. I put little puppy prints that Smidgie's here, and there's little Smidgie's face. And then on every page when she's been here, she's just been walking through my book. Oh, and there's some circle art I did. So, Dee Dee, you watch your notes. They don't get wasted. Can you have too many? That's what she wrote on that compass that she sent me. So I answered you. No, can't have too many. Oh, and there's part of that sheet that I had been playing with. So there's Smidgie feet prints, and then bye Smidgie. But yeah, the Beast has been really fun, and I've been using like those are stickers.
These are mail.
All right, thank you, honey. Yeah, just leave it there. So yeah, so Smidgie's little puppy prints are on every page where she was, and I didn't do anything on yesterday yet. So, but yeah, for the Beast, it's really fun to be able to make my own stickers because I know what I've got. And they're real thin, and that's one thing I'm kind of careful about in the Beast is that I can't use anything too thick or I'm going to distort the book so badly. I think I hear the Amazon truck out there. No, actually what I hear is Robert talking to somebody. I think it's the Amazon guy. Now I have to decide. Okay, now I might have mail from Dee Dee. Amazon.
Come back with this.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you, honey. Aquarelle. Hi, Antoine. You want me to look, Dee Dee? I'll look. Because he just set it on the table here. Smidge, just sit down and cool your jets. You can't go with Robert. No, but guess what? I did get, yay, I got the first ATCs in. I will open those. Hang on, let's just open my mail. There's the big pack of sticker paper. Now I'll never run out. I'm so lucky. And I got Starla's ATCs. Let's take a break and look at Starla's. She wrote, surprise, stamp surprise. They got here quick, Starla. I'll lay them all out and you can, yeah, right? Some people are overachievers. Starla's obviously one of them. All right, hang on. Trying to open this nicely so I don't wreck anything. Oh. She put the self-addressed stamped envelope in there. Well done, Starla. And here you go. I'm going to let you guys guess, and they're all virtually the same. Look at you. You did kind of what Dee Dee's doing. Cool, Starla. These are cool, very cool. I'm going to lay them all out and you can take a screenshot. I'll make sure we get all the hieroglyphs on here. Cool, cool, cool. There you go, screenshot. So let me write on the envelope real quick before I forget. I always write that there are 10, so I know I counted them, and self-addressed stamped envelope, because I have gotten them without an envelope and I've had to go back and redo. So well done, Starla. Thank you. And then the date. Very cool. If you play with us, you might get one of these. Now I have to find a box where I can start collecting them. Very cool, Starla. Overachiever. All right. Now, as I was saying, we got to start making up some rules. And this, unless I leave the ink in one place too long, it does not smear. It does not spread out. So I think you're fairly safe using, I didn't mean to go quite that close. All right, what colors do we want to use? The thing I like about this one was the two colors, the complementary colors. And then I did the another one that had 3 colors, which are, these are my go-to colors if I just want to play. Blue, green, and purple. But I like how the watercolors bled into each other and stuff. So what colors? Pink. Okay, Terry's saying pink and blue. Let's go with pink and blue. Let me see if I have a clean. I do have a clean tray. Yay me. I do have to wash some of my trays though. And I need a paintbrush. I think I need a smaller one than that. Let's get that one out. How big areas do I have? No, this will be better for sure. Pink and blue. And these are, I have 2 trays of these, and they're both the Prima and the Jane Davenport, because I'm really convinced that they are the exact same paints, no difference, and that's why some of them I feel like I have duplicates of, because they were the same in the Prima little art. You get 12 in a little container. I took them all out and laid them out in these palettes like this, which I love so much. Thanks, Dee Dee. But yeah, and they're all just mixed together. So I don't know which ones. Well, if I look on here, I know that's a Jane Davenport, but it looks to be the same as number 36 Prima. Do you think it needs another multiple circus like those two on one piece of the paper? Dorothy, do I look like a freaking mind reader to you? What are you even talking about? So my choices of pink are these pastel ones. And the blues, I've got a ton of blues. So blues is no big deal. But pinks, oh, and then this would be cheating because I had room in the last row here. So I put the Jean Haines Master Artist set. But those are Daniel Smith paints. These down here. And the beauty of those is they're real granulating, which that's really, maybe I'll use the Jean Haines ones. Use that pink and that blue, or that blue. That is really granulating. Okay, change of plans here. I think we're going to use these Jean Haines, which are Daniel Smith paints. But they're so pretty. All right. Switch-o, change-o. I didn't have room in my Daniel Smith tray to put them. That's why they ended up here. All right. We're still going to use pink and blue, though. And I should have put the names on here. I think this is her opera pink. I'm almost sure it is. But I'll tell you, after you've used Kuretake with those great big pans, digging paint out of these little half pans is really just a pain in the ass, to be honest. I think everybody should use the big Kuretake pans. Even if they're not as deep, they're just so nice and you don't feel like you're wrecking your brush. I just love them. So, yeah. And K-Berg says, use the Jean Haines. You just got them. Yeah, these, you'll like them, Kathy. You'll love these. Her palette is really nice. Okay, that should be enough. And then, which blue? I think that blue. I think that blue. All right, so that's pink, red, purple. This one. I think they only sell the Jean Haines set in the tubes. So if I'd have had the pans that from Kuretake, I could have filled them in the big pans. But the Jean Haines, you do have to buy the tubes. And they're not cheap. I'm just saying they're not cheap. So put on your big girl panties when you go look at them, okay? And go out and collect aluminum cans because that's probably what I had to do to get them. Don't make me want something else. You turned me on to Lindy's cracking about broke me. I know, Barbie. I really do. I don't do things to enable. I promise you, I do not. And you've got to keep in mind too, if you've not been doing a lot of this for a long time, you can't afford to buy all this stuff that you see. I mean, but you have to remember, like Dee Dee and me and most of us here in chat have been doing this for years and years and years. And so, yeah, we'll just That's a really dirty blue, but I really, really like it. Yeah, that is opera pink. I'm certain of it. That's weird that we're going to have a real bright color and a real dull color. It ought to be cool. All right, so now I have to decide about the whole background thing. Or should I just not have rules? I don't know. Let's go ahead and start here. The opera pink is a little bit slimy. And this paper is absorbent, so it is going to dry up pretty quickly. Unless you use a pretty good amount of water. And of course, there's little holes in the paper. So you can kind of see how it's just kind of sitting on there. See up there, it's already dry. You can tell by when I add the paint, wanting to see if it was going to start moving. That up there was already dry. And I like it when it's uneven like that, so we're leaving it. How about that, sports fans? And this paint, the blue, will separate because it is really granulating. So keep that in mind if you're going to use it. I'll try and keep it pretty wet while I paint this. Does it even look blue on screen? You know what, Terry? I might have to add a third color here because I think yellow would look really pretty with these two. See where I went outside the line right there? I'm going to go ahead and try and clean that up. Just like a little eraser. You're cleaning where you craft at? Angie, you are quite the little go-getter. All right. Now, what I'm thinking is with those two colors in there, I'll probably do some design in the background there. So I'm going to try and stick with just the two colors, but we'll see. The border of the circles where it's white, I will leave white. You think I'm right? I'm glad you're finally coming to that realization. It doesn't grab the paint and move it like watercolor paper will. All right. Let me just try. I don't remember trying to do like a wet on wet, but I know this paper is going to grab that water immediately. So if I want to do anything wet on wet, I'm going to have to move fast. And it still may not work. But that's what I want to know, you know, like I don't expect it to act like watercolor paper, but what can I expect of it? It's still pretty wet right now. See how it just doesn't move? And with watercolor paper, that would start moving like immediately. So just know that going in. It's kind of fun to play with just because it behaves so differently. You know, you don't know exactly what to expect. But I like the unevenness of the paint. And then I think I'm not going to do it because I don't want to trash it out at this point. I'm going to paint this one dark, the blue. I think I could go in right now and paint it blue and not have to worry about touching the pink. Oh, let's try it. If they bleed, what's going to happen? Is somebody going to shoot me? But I don't think I'll have any bleed at all. Which for me on stream is really a good, okay, it just did a little bit right there. But for me on stream, that's good because I really hate the whole waiting thing or using the heat gun. So yeah, it started sucking up a little bit, but not too terrible much. And the pink pulled into the dark. So I probably, if I wanted to get rid of that, I could by just painting over it, but I'm not going to. It is a pretty pink. It's very fluorescent kind of pink. All right. I don't know if I want to do this. Let's try it. Who cares? The pink and the black obviously are not going to mix well, but we're going to do a little experiment. I think I still could pick this up with my little napkin. Let me see if I could do a mixture here. But isn't that weird how the paints are not sucking into each other? I'll pull you down so you can kind of see how it's mixing right there. Yeah, well, that didn't work because it won't focus, you freak. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, it looks all painterly there. I'm going to leave that just like that. I actually kind of like it. So I'm learning stuff here. You guys don't have to stay in so tight. Okay, that one, the background's going to stay white there. So I think I'll do, oops, take the pink out. I wish I had something really fun and interesting going on, you guys, but I really don't. So any of these white areas are fair game for whatever designs I decide to put in them. Okay, so we're going to do this. I have to decide now. I really need a third color. Let's see what the Jean Haynes, she's got a, I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't trash it out. I'll probably be able to do that here momentarily on stream. All right, here's the colors. I'm thinking that's Aussie Gold. I'm almost certain that this one is Aussie Gold. I think I'm going to use Aussie Gold. That's probably my favorite Daniel Smith paint. And I have multiple pans of it in different palettes. I love the Aussie Gold. I don't remember why I bought the Jean Haynes paints. They might have been a gift from Amy. I'm wondering if they aren't. Because I remember when I got them, I thought, well, one of the tubes is unnecessary because I already had the Aussie Gold. And I love the Aussie Gold. The nearest I've got to fun was a hospital trip Friday to have scans to check blood clot in your leg. Oh, no. More cellulitis. Oh, Terry, that's agonizing. My mother fought that. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So, poor thing. Well, one nice thing is they can treat that, you know. It's stubborn, I know, but they can treat it. So, trip to the hospital. Ugh. All right. Now I have to go back and add some back in here. I think I'm going to leave that a little bit darker anyway, since the pink has a tendency to be so light. These are unusual colors, but I like them very, very much. Very, very. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't a blood clot. Years and years ago, I mean, years ago, I had to get on birth control to regulate myself, you know? And it was shortly after that I started getting blood clots, or well, I started getting bruises on my legs, and I got a huge one behind my knee. And it was right early on when I had just barely met my husband, and he noticed the bruise on my leg. And he said, "How in the world did you get a bruise there?" I didn't even know I had a bruise. I said, "I have no clue why." He said, "You need to go back to your doctor." Like, now. He said, "That's not normal." And it was a big one. And sure enough, I had been getting clots in my legs from birth control. And the doctor said, "You just can't take it." So, yeah. But thank God he noticed, because I had no clue that birth control pills would cause blood clots in your legs. Because that's how dumb I am. All right, so that one's, I'm going to go ahead and do a big yellow area here to make up for how much of the other colors I've used in here. And anywhere there's color, I probably will not draw on top of it. Only the white areas. either inside the circles or outside. And I think I'm breaking the original artist's rules, to be honest. Now, see, I think if we were using regular watercolor paper right now, I would be like so wanting to add some brown to that, but I'm not going to. Hi, Kristen. Yeah, the Opera Pink appears almost in every watercolor name brand, and it's always the same mixture. So Opera Pink is pretty much Opera Pink. You can get it in Prima, you can get it in Daniel Smith, M. Graham. I have Opera Pink also in one of the, what is that set? Mission Gold. I love Mission Golds especially. It's very pretty. They all are about the same, maybe a little different. But for the most part, Opera Pink is Opera Pink. Doesn't matter what name brand or set you get. It's going to be your brightest pink. And if you look up the pigments they use, they're going to be the same. There's a lot of colors like that. Hansa Yellow is also like that. See, and I learned all that when I did the poster, the swatch poster that hangs on the wall. And I started looking into pigments and stuff like that. That's when I figured out that they all have a lot of the same colors that, you know, like if you have it in M. Graham, you probably don't need to buy the Daniel Smith. It might be slightly different, but for the most part, they're using the same pigments. Now I'm just playing to see if I can get it to run a little bit. Leave it like that, because that's the kind of behavior that I really like. And if it makes a cauliflower or a blossom, I'm totally cool with that. Now I'm planning on leaving this one white, which would, according to the loose rules I have in my head, that means this would be a background of one of the colors. All right, it's going to have to be a background. Thinking. I think I'll go ahead and do it in the blue as well. I need more blue already. Which one was it now? I can't remember. Oh, here we go. I almost just dropped my paintbrush. All right, let's go. Another thing I want to try, I think if I re-wet this paint on top, honestly, I think there's some of it that's been absorbed into the paper, but I think for the most part, it's sitting right on top. There's some coating or something on this washi paper. I think if I wanted to, I could probably pick up all the paint. I got a little carried away there, CB. Did you notice that? And it is granulating really nice on this paper, I have to say. The blue. The blue is specific for granulating. I should have left that alone. All right, I'll leave it alone now because it is granulating really nicely right there. Trying to find a comfortable place for my hand here. All right, I don't know if I want to mix. Let's try. All right, so this one, I'm going to leave the background here white, so I'll end up drawing something in there. Make that one really dense and dark. Maybe try to get the pink. All right, if you guys have any suggestions, you need to be speaking up. Hi, Maritza. Hola. I'm glad I added the third color, though. I really am. I was going to leave that, so let's do this one in the Aussie Gold. And then I think it's looking more balanced since I started out with just the two colors. I think this will help it. All right. Try and get some drippage in that one. There we go. All right, white. That's going to be white. tempted. I like that pink and the Aussie gold together. They're very pretty. Okay, Angie, good luck at your festival tonight. I hope it all goes well and you have a good time. I'm so glad I don't have to go to a festival or anything tonight. I'll be sitting on the couch snuggling with my last night with little Smidgy. Damn dog, so spoiled. All right. What color is on my brush? Blue. I don't want blue in there. All right. Let's get some more opera pink. I'm using more paint than I thought I would. I don't know if that's just me or... Reloading my little palette here. I'm so glad the weather's getting better. You know what I'm more glad about? I don't know if you guys are around the rest of the world, but they're talking in the United States right now about getting rid of daylight savings time. And I've been saying that for years. I'm ready to be done with this changing the clock business. I'm over it. Over it. And finally, we're talking about making it one or the other. And I don't really even have a preference. I guess I'd rather have light at the end of the day. But if they go back to standard time and say that's what we're doing, we're leaving it, I'd be like, okay, cool. Just don't change the dang clock. So I hope that happens. I've read about 1,000 different reasons about why they did it. It was so kids weren't standing outside at the bus stop in the dark. I find that hard to believe. But I have no real idea of why they started the daylight savings. That to me sounds believable. Because the whole story about farmers, they did it for the farmers, whatever. I don't believe that either because I know farmers and those guys are going to be working daylight or darkness. Of course, equipment is different now, where they've all got GPS and lights all over the place and stuff. They don't have to worry about the sun. If they want to go out and plow after dark, they can do that. So I'm not sure why we've continued to do it. Does anybody else know why they ever decided that we should disrupt our entire lives and our circadian rhythms or whatever they're called to change the clocks twice a year? But oh my gosh, I hope somebody with some common sense says, okay, we're done doing this. Farmers get up with the sun no matter. See, that's what I think too, Barbie, is you're not going to outsmart a farmer. If he needs to be out in that field, he's going to be out in that field. I promise you. I know too many farmers who are not going to be distracted by whether or not it's convenient. If the work needs to be done, they go do it. And if it takes from morning till night, they'll do that too, like hours and hours and hours. We had a good friend who was a big farmer up in Minnesota. And when we went up there, well, another friend of ours died, so we went up for his funeral, and our friend had just gotten a brand new tractor. Now, these things are a gazillion dollars, you guys. Farm equipment is not cheap, but this tractor was so cool. It had GPS, and they had already set up his entire field. So he'd get in, and it had like stereo in it. He'd get in the cab of his tractor, and for the next 12 hours or however long he was out there, and he had, I don't even know how many hundreds, thousands of acres that he farmed. He didn't own it all. He leased a lot of it. But anyway, he could sit down in that tractor, and it was kind of like a Tesla. It would just drive itself. It knew the edges of the field where he wanted plowed or seeded or whatever. And there were there was like a control panel where he could put in if he was seeding or plowing or whatever it is he was wanting to get done. And the rate, that they were going to plant the seed and all that. It was amazing. But he'd sit out there for hours on end, and just the tractor would do all the work. It was done initially for the farmers after the war when they could catch up. See, to me, that makes absolutely no sense, Dorothy, knowing a few farmers like I do. They did not care one whit. I'm going to go ahead and paint this one too. If there's work to be done, they're going to be out doing it. And I know equipment now is different, but never known a lazy farmer in my entire life, ever. Hardest working people ever. And thank goodness they have good equipment to help them now. All right. So that one's getting a design. That one. So this one's going to be the odd one out then. No, it needs to be a color. Okay, I'll do it blue. I'm making it up as I go along. Like the robot vacuum. Exactly, Marguerite. Yep, it works exactly like my robot vacuum. And that crazy thing, when it decides it's time to go empty itself, it sends me a notification on my phone that it's going back to its docking station, and it goes and it empties itself, and then sends me like a little tune when it's on its way back to finish the floor. It's awesome. I love it. And tomorrow, as soon as Smidgey's gone, I may run that thing 3 times, because right now the debris outside is plentiful because all the trees are pollinating and seeding, and it's a mess. So every time she comes in, she drags all this stuff with her. So tomorrow, that robot vacuum is going to get a serious bad boy workout. Now, Kathleen, I would buy that, that it was golf courses or something like that, that they could stay open later in the evening, that people were more inclined to golf later in the day. That would make perfectly good sense to me. But I don't think we should disrupt the entire country so that golfers can golf late. Now, if I was a golfer, I'd be like, damn right, you need to stay open later, but I'm not. So I don't think my life should be a mess because they want to golf. Because it is all about me. Okay? In case you're wondering. It really is. It's okay, Smidge. She's hearing something outside. She's warning me. It was such a food. So, Dorothy, I can't disagree with you. I mean, I don't know certainly, so I can't really say, but I think we can do things different now because times are different. Hi, Lindy. Don't you think? That's just my thinking is now that we know better, we can do better. All right. I'm going to hit this with a heat gun real quick because I'm going to do something different in here. Where'd I put my heat gun? Heat gun. I need to do more drippage. I really like that. It works especially well on this paper. I didn't get it dry enough though to, well, let's just see if I can maneuver it. I think I want a little bit bigger circle. Haha, CB, I drew more circles. Hi, Sharon. Glad you could join us. All right. So I'm going to leave that for the design. That means this background gets to get painted, and we'll do it with the pink. I'm trying to keep the colors somewhat separated out. Sounds like the wind is picking up. The opera pink feels a little bit slimy. I don't even know how to describe that. I went out right there. Hang on just a second and I'll be able to clean that up. That's another nice thing about the paper. I think I'll be able to clean it up perfectly. Now it should go only where there has been paint. It shouldn't go over the lines, I don't think. Okay. Thank you, Kat. Got CB out of lurk mode. I'll do more drippage on this one too. Smidge is sitting here looking at me like, could we please go outside? I warned her. I said, it's going to be a long 3 hours for you, girl. No attention for 3 whole hours. Okay, so that'll be design. I'll leave that one blank and I'll paint this one. And I might have to add another circle. All right, well, I've got this yellow in here. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I really do like the way the paint works on here. I don't know why. I like the unevenness. I like the splotchy. That's kind of crazy, but whatever. And I think this one should have the background painted and the circle empty. That's all right. Yeah, we'll do that. But I'll do that one blue. Okay, I'm going to have to switch colors. I think that's good. I think it'll balance it out okay now. We'll see. We will see. What I should probably be thinking about, rather than balance on the whole page, is what's going to happen if I cut it into strips. Because that's kind of in the back of my mind what I'm going to ultimately end up doing is making strips of washi. And then you never know, it might end up on an envelope or something that I send out. I normally don't put washi on envelopes because it doesn't stick well. If I put it on envelopes, I always add more adhesive because all it's going to do is trash out the mail equipment. And believe me, the post office has enough problems without me adding to it. They have a myriad of problems, one of which is delivering mail efficiently. I'm liking it so far, Terry. And I think when I get some designs on it, I think I'm going to like it even better. I'm going to get some more of this dark color. And let it run. I like the way that does that. There we go. All right, and then one more big pink area, I guess. Oops. It almost behaves like, you know, when you touch watercolor paper and there's just enough oil on your hands to make the paint kind of resist. That's kind of what this paper behaves like. It's almost like there's a little bit of resist. It absorbs a little bit, and there's just enough resist that it behaves really differently, which I like. I think it's cool. It's fun. All right, let's try to clean up our little mess there. Get a clean napkin. Is Stevie leaving? Bye, Joan. Yeah, there is some sort of coating or something, Kathy. And it makes it behave kind of like a resist, even though it does have some absorbency. But like if you go back over it, one of the areas that is dry, I'll maybe try that just to see. But the nice thing is, just by doing that, I mean, you can pretty much erase any goof up that you create, which is awesome. But it stamps beautifully. If you saw Devin's stream from the other day, she jelly plated on it, which I think the jelly plating is awesome. The only thing is, make sure you're working on the right side, because some of us goofballs didn't do that. It's okay. All right, hang on here. I'll just use up the rest of my paint this way. You're going to jelly print again with it Wednesday? Yeah, I love the jelly prints. I thought they came out awesome. And they're, in my opinion, they're going to be really, really useful. You know what? This, I'm going to go ahead down here. I'll have to get some more blue out, but who cares? I'm going to go ahead and do this corner in blue as well, which kind of breaks the rules, but it's okay. We are rule breakers around here. Can you see the granulation up there? I know it's not going to focus great, but that blue paint is just awesome. You can see the granulation here and there. It's just so cool. All right, everywhere that's white now. I like that little circle. Oh, I've got one little circle here that I meant to paint and forgot. Okay. Looking it over. Just looking to see if there's anything that I need to paint so I can put that away if I need to. I guess this little area down here. If I add a border to this, you probably wouldn't even see that, but white. All right. Does it feel balanced to you guys when you look at it? Um, 3 o'clock your time. Because what time is it there, Devin? You're earlier than me, I think. Or are you Mountain Time? I think you're Mountain Time and I'm Central. I'll be here for another hour about. Maybe more orange down here on this bottom. That would mean more circles. You're Mountain. That's what I thought. You're an hour earlier than me. So, no. At 3 o'clock your time, I will not be here. Hi, Gary. It's good to see you. All right, I'm just trying to think how to do that, breaking up this big circle here and the way I would do it is I'll add more circles is what I'll do. That is still not dry. Let me hit it with a heat gun just real quick. All right, now it shouldn't move. I can add a couple more circles to add some more yellow. I think. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Now see, it's not dry over there. I almost just really goofed up. And it would have been Terry's fault. Now that's not dry. All right, and I'll add one pink one. Oh, see, I almost did it again. There is something wrong with me. And then to balance it, I probably need one over here. And CB's going, stop, stop already. Hi, Lady Jan. All right, let's add some yellow down here. Having to get pink directly out of the pan. Is that okay, Terry? You good with it now? Now we'll see what designs I need to add. Look, it picked up a little bit of the paint and made that a little wonky. I'm good with that. I'm going to have to hit it with a heat gun to dry it so I can put my hand down and draw. All right, on those other two that I did, I'm just going to set this aside, let it dry for just a minute before I hit it with a heat gun. I like these circles all smushed together. Or should I get out the Zentangle pattern book and see if there's something else? These are always my go-to patterns. I love checkerboard and I love polka dots. Polka dots go with anything. Anything. So, or should I try and incorporate a new one now? Hi, Belinda. You guys can tell me. I do love the circles, but maybe a different one for this. Yeah, see, I like the polka dots too. But, and remember, I may end up cutting this up into stripes. So what you're going to end up seeing is just what appears, you know, at like that much of the paper. And I don't think if you're cutting it up, the circles, I'm thinking I might cut it up. I have watched him, Lady Jan. I subscribe to Hugh Art. Yeah, he does beautiful Zentangle work. I like his work. In fact, I did a stream based on some of his art. Yeah, he's very inspirational. There's still just some wet spots. I think if you get down close to it, you could goof it up, but okay, and because we don't really care, and if you're tired of waiting, just pick it up. How about that, sports fans? There we go. You've been making a record of his patterns. Yeah, he's got some awesome ones, and I haven't really you know, like copied his into a book or anything, but yeah, he's very, very inspirational, that guy. You know, the thing that freaks me out about him is how completely steady his hand is when he's drawing. He's so steady. All right, I think I'm going to start by doing just some areas in polka dot, and then there's some, I was going to say there's some place that's still wet. It's right there. And invariably put my hand in it. Ugh. Ugh. All right, I think for these three areas down here, I'll do some small, close together polka dots. Oh, you know what I'm thinking right now? Now, I want to go ahead and let's just assume that I cut it lengthwise this way. Is there any place down here that I could incorporate more dots? It would have to be here or here. No, you know what? We'll go ahead and do this circle. And I still have that old rule of you have to do something like 3 times. Yeah, he dries fast. Yep. See, I do too, Barbie. Usually fall back on the ones that I'm most comfortable with, that I know are going to work well, aren't going to create a problem. There is one Zentangle design, though. Let me get my book out real quick and see if I can find it. Oops. And I want to look it up. I could just sit there and draw it, but then if you guys want to find it, you've got a name. Now this book is out of my Zentangle box. And for everything that's in here, I have a card that shows how to draw it. But the one I'm looking for should be pretty easy. Come on, pop out at me really quickly. And they're organized by grid pattern, borders, or just random. And this one, I'm not sure where I would have put it because it could fit in multiples, probably in borders. But I don't know the name of it, so I can't just go to it. That be's my problem. Let me look, let me look, let me look. Ooh, I like Flux a lot. Not really good for a border pattern, though, except the one that I'm thinking of. I'd probably put it in random, knowing me. Ooh, that one's a good one, too. All right, let's put a little... No more enabling. Barbie, this one is not enabling because you can just make these yourself. Poor Barbie. Would somebody go over there and give her a hug? No more enabling. I've had enough. Stop already. Killing me over here. No, these you create yourself. You don't have to buy nothing. Yeah. I love Dragonair too. This just isn't suited for that. Why can't I think of the name of that one? Dang it. That makes me so mad. I use it a lot. I just don't ever look it up. I thought it would pop right out at me as soon as I picked up this darn book. That's okay. I like looking at them anyway. Watch, as soon as I turn off the stream, it'll pop in my head. Bam. That's what it was. I'm not going to find it, I don't think. That's the one. It's called Shatluck. And you can do it with the borders between it, or you don't have to. And that's why I was thinking for like a space like this, it would be perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Are you going to whip out another book? Have you ever seen my Zentangle box? If I show you that, you'll want that because it's a very cool thing. All right, you can do this in any shape, okay? I think do I want a border or do I just do it? Nah, I'll just do it this way. Hopefully it'll work. Come on. Don't mess with me now, Sharpie. You probably, if you're using a Sharpie, you probably don't want to linger on the page too long, or it will make a blob of ink. It's almost like it's sucking it out of the pen. I'm glad I found the name of that. And if you're interested in learning any of those patterns out of that book, there's a website called tanglepatterns.com. And that's where I've gotten the bulk of those designs. There's an alphabet along the top of the home page. And if you click on that, on any of the letters, like for Shatluck, you just go to S and then it's all alphabetical and it'll show you step by step how to draw every pattern in this book. And there's some obviously that aren't on there, but if you just Google the name, if you have the name, thank you, Devin. Yeah, you'll find the step by step how to do it. All right, I haven't done this yet on there. Let's go ahead. This particular design is great for shading. And I haven't tried to smudge graphite on this paper yet. And this is just a regular number 2 soft lead pencil. So it's my favorite, you can tell. I'm hoping the shading will look really cool. And because I'm not sure how I'm going to use this, with this, I will take it out and I will give it a little shot of workable fixative so that the graphite and stuff won't smear anymore or the paint won't lift. Because the paint literally is, I think, just sitting on top of the paper for the most part. Let me see if I have a smudgeroo here. I do. Let me pull you guys down so you can see. And I don't know if just rubbing my hand on it will get it to smudge. But I like the shading. So if I'm going to go to the trouble to do the Zentangle, I'm going to go to the trouble to do the shading. Okay, liking it. All right, the other space that would be perfect for that one. If you end up in a big space, what you can do is break the space up like this with the lines in between. But for that space, that fit there just perfectly. And I think I'm going to go ahead, since it's kind of in the same line, I'm going to go ahead and continue it up here. And the thing I haven't decided yet, and I was going to do it on stream, but apparently I didn't think of it in time, was I want to use that gold, the ruling pen that I think enabled a bunch of you to buy. I wanted to try it with that compass to see if I could do the gold circles, the gold borders, you know. And I don't own these patterns, so if you are doing a little pattern collection book, feel free to put it in your book. There is no ownership on this stuff, so don't feel like you're stealing anybody's property or anything. They're out there for free all over the internet, and I'm sure we're not the first people to ever draw these particular patterns, you know. There's some cool ones on there, though. Okay, and I'd like to go ahead and do one more space of that. Well, maybe not. I'll get it out in just a second, Barbie. I just saw your, I think it's going to be way cool too, Devin. I'm hoping. What was that other one that I said I really liked? Oh, the Annie. With the circles, it could be really cool, except that we're going to do it down here. Since we've already got so many circles, we'll distract from that and make it feel like it's normal. Let me get out the other. Poor CB's over in the corner having a heart attack right now. I told you to stop. Damn it. Listen to me. Okay, Mom. Okay. What was it called? Annie? I lost the page already. Somebody just shoot me in the head right now. Get it over with. All right, there we go. You can always add doodles or colors after cut. See, that's what I think too, Devin. All right, and to draw these, and I'm going to go ahead and incorporate these bigger circles in the design. So to start this one, you can just draw a line from any circle to whatever's nearest, or how you can, to any of them. And then just draw curved lines out from that. And envision there's a circle somewhere over here to go ahead and finish it off the space or the page, whichever, right? I get really quiet when I tangle. So sorry about that. This would probably actually work better with a little bit finer nib pen, but I'm not going to worry about that. If this works out well, I will be making more. I may, after my little puppy best friend goes home and I'm upset and lonely, I may just sit here and do this the rest of the week. And poor Robert will have to eat crackers. Which won't bother me. No. If there's one thing I do try and feed us pretty well. Don't like it, but I do it. But don't ask Jenny Potter if I feed us well, because she'll lie and say I don't. Am I on camera okay? Sometimes you can't really anticipate how the spaces are going to fill up, so you just kind of improvise as you go. And for whatever reason, it always works out. And you learn as you go. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm sorry that the camera keeps going in and out. Yes, it is. Lady Jan, Janet M. Young at yahoo.com. And if you want to join us in the ATC swap, use that email to get my address. And I don't just put my address out there because it is my home address. And I'm scared to death one of you goofballs will show up at my damn door. Not really. I'm afraid all my stalkers will show up. It's probably not safe to put your address, your physical address out there. If one of you want to come by and visit, I would be happy to see you. I've met a bunch of fibs actually in person. I've met CB in person. We went to Australia together. Met Xandra, Jenny Potter. One girl, I can't even remember her name. She was moving. And I met her in Joplin. And I think we actually had lunch together. That's been years ago. I'd forgotten all about that. And you don't have to worry. I don't like leaving home, so I'm not going to show up at anybody's door. Okay. Lady Jan, I will get back to, if you don't get it right away, because usually after I stream, I've got to clean up and fix us something to eat, and then I relax for the evening, and so it may be tomorrow morning before I actually get to emails, but I will get back to you. And we've got all the way until May to get them done, so if you don't get them for a couple days, don't freak out. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'm really bad at email. I don't know why I sign up for these things. I know. I think it's good for the community that we do stuff like this. Keeps us liking each other and involved. I'm not sure that we actually like each other, but you met Patty Tolley Parrish and Jean. Yeah, APG Jamie. I could actually see myself someday meeting APG Jamie because she's just down in Texas, not far from, not too terribly, well, everything's relative. For you guys in Europe, it would probably seem like a big distance, but in the United States, a 6-hour drive to see your family or to meet a fib is not a big deal. But I watch a guy on, excuse me, I think it's Instagram, and he comes over to the United States from the UK. And he talks about how crazy Americans are when it comes to distance, that we'll drive, an hour to eat dinner. And that's probably not unusual. I mean, I'll drive an hour for groceries. And he said in the UK, that's unheard of. Like, you don't drive the distances that we do in America. And that everybody thinks Americans are snobbish because we don't travel. And he says the truth is they don't need to travel. This country is so vast. And same with Canada. I mean, if you think America is vast, take a look at Canada. Like, their provinces are huge and probably have 15 climates in one day. So I guess everything's just kind of relative. But yeah, I can see myself someday meeting APG Jamie. She cracks me up. She sends me the funniest stuff on IG. I like it. I like it a lot. We first met when we were doing Pocket Mail on Dee Dee's Ustream. That's been a lot of years ago, Lady Jan. Yeah, I hate cooking, but I produce good meals. It's the least I can do, What the hell? All right. Do I want to incorporate that somewhere else over here? The designs you pick, you got to remember, like if I'm going to cut this up, that there has to be some continuity to it. Another design that I really like is, if this drawing was going to stay together, is to draw different lengths, kind of squiggly lines, and then draw dots coming down for it. But the thing is, if that got cut apart, I don't think it would be as appealing. Your small island is only 300 miles long and 84 wide. I've been all over it, Lady Jan. We took a ferry from Alaska down to Vancouver Island, and then we spent, I don't even know how long, it was quite a while. And for years and years, I had a sleeping shirt from, and I may pronounce this wrong, from Ucluelet. It was my favorite shirt. And finally, it just wore out, and Mother couldn't repair it anymore. So I had to get rid of it. Okay, another really good one design that you could cut up and would not be that big a deal. And the thing that freaked me out over on, I think I've told this story 100 times. On the island, Vancouver Island, was we went hiking one day. I think we were on the west coast of the island, and there were huge, huge trees, and they had I'm sure they're not caterpillars, but think of a caterpillar like this long. They look like Euclid, yeah, but they look like tomato hornworms. They were fat and they were long and bright green as this, bright green, and they were everywhere. Like everywhere you looked were these green, I don't know, caterpillar looking things. My favorite part of that trip, I think, was Butchart Gardens. I don't know. I got to do great things as a kid. And I don't think I ever thanked my parents adequately. Another place I like over in British Columbia is Kamloops. You know, I have good memories all over Canada. I wouldn't mind taking another huge long trip. In Canada. It's a very unique, awesome place. Unbelievably friendly, polite, kind people who will welcome you. Yeah, I love Canada. I've always loved Canada. Saw tons of bear in Canada. All right, and on this one, I'm going to see how they, but is that what they are? Banana slugs? Thanks, Lady Jan. Slugs, yeah, huge. Oh my God, they were so huge. Couldn't even believe it. Banana slugs. Well, see, I learned something today. I feel so good now. I still have pictures of them. Another thing is when we were on the East Coast, it was on the East Coast. They have rocky coasts on the East Coast. The West Coast is sand, but the East Coast is rock. And I noticed when we were out walking around that you could pick up oysters right there in amongst the rocks. It was fun. It was way fun. We dug clams there. We sat at dinner one night out on the beach and watched whales spouting out in the ocean. It was just an awesome, special kind of place. Look I forgot one of my little connectors. Okay, now I've got to figure out, I need to put some color in that little space right there. I think I'm going to, I want to include that one other place. I think I'll include that right here. Well, but if I start see how I do? If I start doing that here, I'd want to continue it through the whole background here, I think. So I've got to find one design that's going to work for that whole background. I think. And I'm going to put some more dots down here. But I got to do the other soft nib for that. Oyster snot without the nose. Isn't that true? Robert loves oysters on the half shell. We used to go down to South Padre Island, Texas, and stay at a state park down there, and there was a little restaurant, and every Tuesday they did a special of oysters on the half shell. And I can't remember. I don't want to say the wrong number, but I honestly think he sat there and ate 7 dozen because you order them by the dozen. Yeah, they're gross. They're seriously gross. But in Oklahoma, well, I can't say you can't get oysters on the half shell. There is a restaurant in Tulsa. I used to take my dad to it all the time, out by the airport, that has fresh seafood flown in every day. And you can get oysters on the half shell there, but not all the time. Like you got to call ahead and say, are you going to have oysters on Thursday? And they might say yes. All right, I think I'm going to do more of that here. Only I'll do it a little bit bigger. But yeah, I'm not a big oyster fan. And they used to be not so horribly expensive, but I don't even know what they are anymore. But if Dad was alive, I'd go buy them for him. You can get Rocky Mountain oysters in Oklahoma. True that, Barbie. Fresh off the farm. I'm not sure why you would want them, but yeah, you can get them. Don't let me forget to get the Zentangle box out to show Barbie. When I say Barbie, every time I say that, it makes me think of Jamie's girlfriend. Her name is Jill, but he calls her Barbie because she looks like a Barbie. And so half the time I call her Barbie and half the time I call her Jill. I don't normally draw with this big a nib. You got to adjust your spacing when you do. And you could draw as many lines as you want off this, you know. See, this one looks a lot better where I've adjusted the spacing. Hi, Cindy. Thank you. Yeah. And I got to start paying a little bit close attention to time because it's 2:30. And I want to show Barbie that box. And then I'm going to, on just one of these edges down here, this one probably down here because it's the least interesting, I'm going to add some gold to it and see if I want to add gold to this. I think I do. Got quiet in here. Smidge just woke up. Probably thinking, hey, wench, are we going to go outside anytime soon? Like it, like it, like it. And on this one, I would shade where all the lines meet the circle and make it look like it's a little bit puffy. And in the white area as well. And the thing about that is if you do it and you don't like it, get out your eraser and get rid of it. There you go. And I'll do that one later. So I'll just continue doing that. Let me grab the box so Barbie can, excuse me, see. No, Smidge, settle down. We've got 25 minutes. You can wait that long. You can wait. Okay, those of you who have been around a long time have seen this, but it's a box that I made the whole thing from just chipboard that you can buy, blank chipboard, 8.5 by 11 inch. Made 2 areas, and then for each of the designs in here, the book that I showed, there'll be a corresponding card in here that will give you step-by-step instructions of how to draw that particular design. And they're all in here alphabetically. So really easy to work with. I used to keep these in like the baseball sleeves that Dee Dee and I have showed. And these are ATC size. But keeping them alphabetized got to be a total pain in my butt. I'm not kidding you. And the book got heavy and blah, blah, blah. So I thought, how am I going to do this? And this seems to work out really good. You could also do this whole same system if you didn't have this many designs in a Rolodex, because the Rolodex is so awesome because it's got the A through Z little things that you can do. So unless you're an obsessive compulsive person such as I am, you probably don't need to go to this extent. Just saying. Just saying. And then each of the little things I did go ahead and do designs on the letters. I love that design too. Oh, that one I'm going to have to look. Which one is that? Let's look. Now that I pulled this out, I want to do more. Now I'm probably going to go crazy on, it's called quilts. There it is. And here it is. Drawn a little better. OCD is an understatement. My OCD is only slightly disabling, though, you guys. Shut up, CB. Rolodex would work fine. You could just get the little cards. And if you ended up doing something like this, cut yourself your own little stencil template to do a 6 division or a 4 division. Where's my 4 division? There's the 4 division. Look at this. This is really pretty, you guys. I forgot about this. Look at it. It's very fun. Did you write the name of the tangle on the back of each? No, the name of the tangle is on the top. It's right up there. Is it too far away? Oh. Good camera work, goofball. Yeah, it's up there. It just won't focus, you freak. But yeah, the names are on the top of the card. And some of them are so simple, you only need 4 step outs. And then some are more elaborate, so you need 6. Because I don't care who you are. Like some of them that are pretty simple, I don't have a problem remembering how to draw them. But some of them, I have to refer back. I really do. Now that took, I would sit and do 3 or 4 in the evenings. And it just over, you know, a certain number of months or years, you just collect a lot. So if you're inclined to do something like that, get your butt on it and get it done. I want it done by the end of the week. That's it. Oh, but the coolest thing about this box, because it's homemade and I got to design it and measure it and, you know, figure it all out. This book has a little tray that it slides in right there. So the little book stays right with all the patterns. That's freaking ingenious, right? So there you go. There's your goal. Build yourself something awesome that you love having. Thanks, Dee Dee. Of course it does. All right. So before we run out of time, keep in mind this is on the washi sticker paper. And I'm not going to try fitting that pen in that thing, Dee Dee. There is a way to make it work, and I will. Thank you, Lindy. I will make it work so I can draw circles with the ruling pen. But we're going to just quickly, oh, that's too fat. We're just going to quickly add some gold to this and see if the circles need to be gold. which means I would eliminate a lot of the white, which is fine. I don't really care. Might be too hard to keep neat, but we'll see. I'm afraid I'm really going to like that. I love this mica gold. This looks especially pretty next to the blue. All right. What do you think, you guys? Terry Brett, get your butt in here and state your opinion. Zoom? I need to zoom? Okay. And I can make it tidier. I think this one's going to have gold. I think it is. And just think when it's cut up, it'll look awesome. And there'll be enough white in the Zentangle areas, I guess, right? But wouldn't this be easier if I could draw the circles in this gold and then just go back and fill them in, and I don't have to be quite so careful when I'm filling them in. Yeah, I think I'm going to like the gold. I really do. Just one more step that I have to go through, but I won't mind. Do you start most of your designs with circles? These I have been, Cindy, because it was kind of, Terry Brett found an artist on Instagram that inspired her to do this kind of circle art. And then, of course, if Terry Brett is doing it, I must do it. Just like if I do it, Terry Brett must do it because it's a rule. And so we kind of went into it with no rules. I didn't know what the rules were, so I've just kind of made them up as I go along. And now I'm kind of finding a style and stuff that I really like. Okay, her name is Carrie Ellison on Instagram. And she's a good artist. I went and looked at her page. I really liked a lot of her stuff. But this circle stuff is just kind of appealing to me, and I do love circles. And so this is kind of a mishmash of a whole bunch of different artists and things that they do. Oblivious Mind is one of them. Art Salute Beginner. So it's just kind of gotten to be a bunch of things that I like that now is being smushed together and watercolor thrown in. Because I can paint a flower or an owl. I mean, I have a bunch of art where I draw from real life, but for whatever reason, this last year especially, this abstract kind of art using watercolor, ink, tools, everything is just kind of fallen into my wheelhouse, and I really like it. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. And I never go into any of it other than this obviously being the circle art that Terry introduced me to based on that other artist. I don't go into it with any preconceived ideas of how it's going to end up or what I'm going to use it for. Okay, so you went and looked, and her Instagram is gorgeous. Yeah, she's inspirational for sure. And there's a lot of artists like that. So when you find somebody who's like that, I like to pass it on because it may not be my deal, but you know, maybe it's something that you'll enjoy doing, you know? Like I would love to be able to do Dee Dee's type of collage. Watching her do that to me is just like magic before my eyes. It's like it's not there 1 minute, it's there the next. How the hell did that happen? It's freaking magic. But I don't have what it takes. But doing something like this that's more nitpicky like this is definitely me. I am a nitpicker kind of person. See? But you kind of got to find the things that you love. Do you love collage? Try it. If you like watercolor, do you like drawing? Do you like Zentangle? I don't know. There's something out there for everybody, I think. And coloring in a color book. I mean, I wanted to do that so bad. I thought, oh, I'm going to love that. It's just going to be so good. I bought a bunch of coloring books. Of course, I've had colored pencils and stuff for my whole life. It didn't take me very long to realize that when I sat down to color in somebody else's art, it made me a nervous wreck. I could not finish a picture. I don't know why. It just made me nervous. It did the exact opposite of what they said it was going to do. Zentangle to me is very relaxing. I can sit and do Zentangle all day long. You also, oh, I hate fussy cutting. But that's one of the things about this sticker paper that's so awesome is you don't have to fussy cut. You can get close enough, and then when you put it down, the edges disappear. That may be the single thing that I love most about this paper. You don't have to cut close. Cut around it, fairly close. All right. Now I can't cut it into strips. Maybe I'll wait until next Monday and cut it into strips. But now I want to keep inking, but I know I can't because I don't have time. I do need to wash the liner though. So yeah, I will. Yeah, I like the gold too. The gold is going to happen. The coloring books didn't work for you either, Marguerite. I know. Isn't that crazy that you'd think it would just be so fun and relaxing to have the artwork all done for you? Nope, it didn't work for me. Watercolor artist Sarah at Living the Sky Life. Once you get past Willie's boat repair, she shows her drawing and paintings. Oh, okay. Sarah Living the Sky Life. Okay. I could put it in real quick, Devin. In fact, I think I had it pulled up, and then Cheshire Cat beat me to it this morning. Man, that girl, I'm not kidding. She is freaking fast. She must have the fastest internet on the planet. Like, I'm not even kidding. Here, I'll just put it in. If Devin's doesn't work, try that one. That one's the one I just bought. I'll write that down, Lady Jan. Sarah Living the Sky Life. Got it. I will check her out. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. I think me and Midgy Widgy are going to go take a walk outside. It's YouTube. Yeah, that's the first place I would have looked, Lady Jan. And I'll just fill in the rest of these white areas. I will go ahead and put the gold in. Now, one thing I do, after I put the gold on, because I don't like it to look icky, I do go back in and go over it and clean up the edges. So in case you're wondering if I'm going to leave it messy like that, no, I will go in and clean up those edges. And when you're drawing small like this, you won't goof up your circle. Or if you do, it won't be noticeable. And I'm using a little bit finer nib for that, just to clean up the edges, but make the black still there. Will you wait to cut it into strips until next week? Yes. Yeah. I'll just let this sit for the whole next week. I'll go ahead and finish it because you've seen enough of it now. I'll go ahead and finish it. And then next week we'll cut it into strips. And maybe I'll do a giveaway or something. Send it out to you goofballs. So that's how I'll crispen up the edges. Let's do this. All right, you guys, I know your time is really valuable and you've got so many other things that you could be doing, but I truly appreciate that you choose to spend. Ooh, I could scan it, Barbie. Barbie, look at, we've got a new brilliant person in chat. I could make copies. I will do that. Yeah, but I know you've got a lot of things you could be doing, but I appreciate you spending your time with me. And yeah, go out and have some fun. And who knows what I'll get into next week. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. Love you. See you later. Bye.